Jackson's journey really started there. His recovery started at Select. They just knew exactly what needed to happen. Jackson was gonna go hang out with his friends. Next thing I knew, I got a phone call about a couple hours later. They just said that he'd been in an accident, he had head trauma, he had 2 to 3 strokes. He had a punctured lung, he broke ribs, some facial fractures, and that his neck was broken. So he was classified as a vegetated state, not a coma, but a vegetated state. Everyone from the neurosurgeon to the ER doctor to even the nurses, they didn't think he was ever gonna wake up. So ultimately, we made a decision that we were gonna take him off the respirator. So I just walked in and I sat in the back, and the doctor had turned around and said, Mina, you know, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? And that's when I just said, I can't do this. I'm not gonna do this. So the plan then was, we'll give it 2 weeks to see how he is. And I'm like, okay. That day I took the time and I washed Jackson's hair. And I just knew that I wasn't gonna do that again. I wasn't gonna go through that. I woke up the next morning and I noticed I had missed several calls from the hospital. My fear was that Jackson died. So I called the number and it was a nurse. She said she'd asked Jackson to stick out his tongue, and he did. After that, I mean, it really kind of progressed. I mean, when we got the news that Select said yes, we were just so relieved because we were really counting on that option.
All I remember thinking was, wow, he's so young, and the brain and the body can do such amazing things.
Prognosis was bleak, but they were trusting their instincts, saying, you know, we feel like there is more to this story. We feel like this isn't the end of his journey, and that's why they ended up choosing to come to Select.
It was the first time I felt like Jackson was being treated like an actual person. I mean, he wasn't just a patient who they needed to treat and move on. That they were actually there to help him and that they were going to work with him. And yeah, it was a nice feeling.
I said, we're going to do everything we can for him. We're going to try to get him off of the ventilator and see how he responds to us.
And, you know, that 3rd, 4th day, you know, we're shaking our head, we're answering questions, we're squeezing our hand on command 100% of the time, we're giving the thumbs up. So we saw a big drive in that first couple days.
Jackson was off of the ventilator completely in less than a week.
When the machine was moved out of the room, I was just like, I think this is happening too fast. I mean, it was exciting, and then yeah, it was, the next thing I know, they were doing a speaking valve.
That was just really incredible to hear his voice for the first time.
So most patients are with us here in South Dakota anywhere from 25 to 28 days.
I thought I was gonna be there for a couple months, and we're like, day 13, we're talking about leaving in 2 days, and I was just like, oh wow.
When we're looking at our next step, we're ramping up our therapy here every day, doing more and more and more, as much as they can tolerate, to guarantee that he's gonna be successful when he goes to inpatient rehab.
I maybe worked with him 7 or 8 treatment sessions from start to finish.
Once he got into Select and they were able to show how much progress he made in that short amount of time, that's when the other places were like, all right, he's ready for us now.
Once he went to Colorado, you know, our team wanted to know, how's he doing? It all happened so fast here at the hospital. He got better very quick. You know, every day he showed improvement. And from a therapy standpoint, you couldn't ask for anything more than that.
This isn't just a quick sprint, this is going to take some time, and as we can still see today, he's still working on goals and moving forward with his recovery.
Jackson's gonna go back to school. That's what we're looking at for next semester. They did some practice online courses so he could get back into that.
I want to see him accomplish his goals of graduating college. He said he was going to school to work in film. So I want to see him accomplish that. I want to see his name on the screen at a movie. I would love to see that.
Our team is grateful that we get the opportunity to be part of these people's care plan. You know, Select is a really unique hospital.
Thanks for getting me started on this journey.
I'm just so happy he's here. Jackson makes me happy. It makes me smile.